Okay, let's jump right in today. We're doing a deep dive into Jeremiah chapter 30.
Right. And this chapter, well, it hits you with this incredible contrast.
It really does. Starts with this scene of just total devastation, deep suffering.
Yeah, absolute despair. But then it swings pretty dramatically to this promise of complete restoration.
Exactly. So it's quite a journey in one chapter. We want to kind of unpack that today, look at that stark difference and, what it's all about.
Definitely. Let's start where the chapter starts, with that suffering. It doesn't really ease you in.
No, not at all. Straight away, it's cries of fear are heard terror, not peace. I mean, that sets the tone immediately. Panic.
Total panic. There's no ambiguity there, is there? It's designed to make you feel that immediate, overwhelming distress, not just worry, but actual terror.
And the description of how people react is, well, it's visceral. It asks that question, can a man bear children? Which is already jarring.
Right.
And then it shows every strong man with his hands on his stomach like a woman in labor.
Yeah, that image is something else.
And every face turned deathly pale. I mean, picturing a strong man, this symbol of resilience, doubled over like that. It just hammers home how extreme this is.
It completely flips your expectations. Strength just melts away. The fear, the agony, it's so profound. It strips everyone down to this state of, well, utter vulnerability,
Yeah.
shock. You see it in the pale faces. Total breakdown.
And the text makes a point of saying how unique the suffering is, how awful that day will be. None will be like it.
That phrase really stands out. None will be like it. It marks this as the crisis point for Jacob, for Israel. Unprecedented severity.
And it calls it a time of trouble for Jacob. So not just bad, but uniquely, historically terrible.
Yeah, setting a benchmark for suffering, really, establishes the absolute gravity of what's being described.
And then comes the diagnosis for their condition, and honestly, it sounds completely final. Your wound is incurable, your injury beyond healing.
Stark, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a doctor saying there's absolutely nothing that can be done, no human cure exists, it's terminal.
And it just keeps layering on the hopelessness. There is no one to plead your cause, no remedy for your sore, no healing for you. So not only is it incurable from within, but there's no help coming from outside either.
Exactly. Total isolation in this state of irreversible brokenness. No advocate, no medicine, nothing.
And the chapter is very direct about the reason for all this. It connects it straight to their actions because your guilt is so great and your sins so many.
No ambiguity there either. It's presented as a direct consequence, a divine reaction to their own state.
It even uses really harsh language, saying God struck them as an enemy would, punish them as would the cruel. But it links that severity directly back to their guilt and sins.
Yes, the intensity of the language enemy, cruel, shows how severe the punishment feels, but the text grounds it firmly in their own responsibility. Great guilt, many sins, it's cause and effect.
And then, just to twist the knife, it adds, all your allies have forgotten you. They care nothing for you.
Wow. So it's a self-inflicted condition, it's divine judgment, and complete abandonment by any potential human support.
Yeah, it paints this picture of just absolute rock bottom desolation. It feels like there's genuinely no way out.
Right. The internal state is broken. The divine relationship seems hostile. External help is gone. It's like hitting a narrative brick wall.
Right.
You read that and think, okay, that's it then.
But this is where the chapter just flips entirely. It's stunning. After painting that bleakest possible picture, a new voice breaks in. The Lord declares, the days are coming when I will bring my people Israel and Judah back from captivity and restore them to the land I gave their forefathers to possess.
That pivot is everything. Suddenly, the very source of the judgment, the one who inflicted the supposedly incurable wound, becomes the source of this radical promise.
It just changes the whole game, doesn't it? From total despair based on how things are to this incredible hope based on what God will do.
A complete reversal announced from the highest authority. It's breathtaking, really.
And it's not just a vague things get better kind of promise. The text gets specific about what this restoration actually involves. What does it look like?
Well, first off, freedom. It says, I will break the yoke off their necks and will tear off their bonds. No longer will foreigners enslave them. So that foreign domination, that's over. The chains are broken.
Okay, freedom from oppression. But freedom for what? Who will they serve instead?
Good question. The text says they'll serve the Lord their God and David their king, whom I will raise up for them.
Ah, so it connects freedom to a renewed relationship with God and also this figure, David their king. What's that about?
Well, serving God is the core relationship renewal. And that reference to David, their king, is really interesting. It often signals, an ideal future ruler, maybe even with messianic overtones for some. It points to a return to legitimate internal leadership, divinely approved, unlike the foreign powers they'd been under, rooted in their own history.
Right. And think back to the start, the fear, the terror. Now God speaks directly to that. Do not fear, O Jacob, my servant. Do not be dismayed, O Israel.
It's direct command against the fear described earlier. And the reason they shouldn't fear, it's this guarantee. I will surely save you out of a distant place, your descendants from the land of their exile.
So salvation isn't just spiritual, it's physical return, getting them out of exile.
Absolutely, bringing them home. And not just home, but home to safety. It says, Jacob will again have peace and security, and no one will make him afraid.
Total reversal again. From terror, not peace, to peace and security. Nobody causing fear.
Exactly. And the foundation for all this change, the text states it plainly. I am with you and will save you, declares the Lord. That I am with you, that presence is the bedrock of the whole transformation.
Now, there's an interesting bit here about how God deals with Israel and Judah versus the other nations where they were scattered.
Yeah, it makes a distinction. God says he will completely destroy all the nations among which I scatter you, but then says to Israel, Judah, I will not completely destroy you.
So judgment for the oppressor seems total, but for Israel it's different. Discipline, not destruction.
Precisely. It says, I will discipline you, but only with justice. I will not let you go entirely unpunished. It highlights that their suffering, while severe, had a purpose. It was discipline linked to their actions, yes, but corrective, not final annihilation like the fate promised for the other nations.
Okay, that nuance is important. The punishment wasn't random, but it wasn't meant to wipe them out either.
Right. It was discipline within the bounds of justice, with restoration in mind.
Let's go back to that incurable wound idea, because the promise of restoration seems to fly right in the face of that diagnosis.
This is maybe the most powerful part. After establishing the wound as absolutely incurable by any normal standard, the text just declares, but I will restore you to health and heal your wounds.
God just overrides the diagnosis.
Exactly. It's a divine intervention that makes the impossible possible.
And the reason given is almost surprising, because you are called an outcast, Zion for whom no one cares. It's like their very status as rejected and hopeless triggers the healing.
It's fascinating, isn't it? The healing isn't earned. It seems prompted by their utter desolation, their status as the outcast nobody cares about. The divine promise steps into that void. It's not just a fix. It's a supernatural reversal of reality itself, coming from the same one who allowed the wound.
So this restoration, it's not just internal healing or safety. It includes actual physical rebuilding, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I will restore the fortunes of Jacob's tents and have compassion on his dwellings. He gets very specific. The city will be rebuilt on her ruins, and the palace will stand in its proper place.
Rebuilt on the ruins. That's a powerful image of restoration, not just starting over somewhere else.
It is. It speaks to continuity, reclaiming their space, raising life directly from the site of destruction.
And the whole atmosphere changes, too. No more cries of fear, instead.
From them will come songs of thanksgiving and the sound of rejoicing. A complete shift from agony to communal joy and gratitude.
And the community itself grows.
Yes. I will add to their numbers, and they will not be decreased, overcoming the losses and regaining dignity, too. I will bring them honor, and they will not be disdained.
From outcast to honored, that's quite the turnaround.
It's total restoration, status, community stability. Their children will be as in days of old, and their community will be established before me, back on solid ground, secure before God.
And justice for those who cause the suffering.
That's there, too. I will punish all who oppress them. The justice that disciplined Israel is also turned outwards towards the oppressors. Things are being set right.
Let's talk about the leadership again. It says, their leader will be one of their own. Their ruler will arise from among them.
Really important point. Not a foreign overlord, but someone from within. Self-governance restored.
But this leader seems special. The text says God will bring him near. He will come close to me. And then asks, for who is he who will devote himself to be close to me? What does that imply?
It suggests a really unique, extraordinary intimacy with God, direct access. In those times, rulers usually went through priests, intermediaries. This sounds like a direct, personal, devoted relationship. It really sets this future leader apart, highlighting how special this restored kingdom will be.
So all these threads, the return, the healing, the safety, the rebuilding, the joy, the community, this unique leader, It all comes together in one core statement, doesn't it?
It does. The climax is, so you will be my people, and I will be your God.
That's the ultimate goal. After everything, the brokenness, the discipline, the separation, that fundamental covenant relationship is back, fully restored. That's their identity, and God's identity in relation to them.
Perfectly put. That's the heart of it all.
No, right at the end, the chapter briefly touches on divine wrath again. The storm of the Lord, the driving wind against the wicked, God's fierce anger accomplishing his purposes.
Yeah, it's like a reminder.
Yeah.
While the focus has been on Israel's restoration, God's justice is still active against wickedness in general. That storm imagery shows it's powerful, unstoppable.
And then the very last line is intriguing. In days to come, you will understand this.
Leaves you hanging a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It suggests that the full meaning, the why behind the suffering and the incredible restoration, the whole complex picture, it won't be fully grasped in the moment. Understanding will come later with hindsight as God's larger plan unfolds.
So if we synthesize this whole journey in Jeremiah 30, we start at rock bottom. Unmatched suffering, terror, an incurable wound caused by their own sin, total abandonment.
Right, a situation that looks utterly hopeless by any human standard. Terminal diagnosis, deserved punishment, total isolation. Seems like the end of the story.
But then, bam, this divine promise just crashes in, not just a little better, but total radical restoration. Freedom, safety, the incurable is cured, ruins are rebuilt, joy replaces terror, community restored, special leader in the core relationship fixed. I will be your God.
And the key thing, I think, is who does the healing. The text makes it clear the wound was real, incurable by normal means, and a divine consequence. But then God says, but I will restore you. I will heal your wounds. The one who disciplines is the only one who can bring about this impossible cure.
So the restoration doesn't ignore the diagnosis or the reason for it. It just overrides it through divine action.
Exactly. It's a demonstration that God's purpose goes beyond just consequence. It includes this radical, seemingly impossible transformation initiated by God alone.
So thinking about that journey from incurable wound outcast to total healing and rebuilding on the ruins, all initiated by the one who inflicted the discipline, what does that suggest about where real transformation might sometimes come from? Maybe the most unexpected place.
Well, it really poses this idea, doesn't it? That maybe the deepest healing, the most profound renewal, doesn't always come from trying harder ourselves or from outside help, but sometimes, maybe paradoxically, from the very source of the breaking itself.
Right.
It suggests that within this framework, no situation, no matter how broken or seemingly final, is truly beyond hope if that divine initiative for restoration steps in. It could defy reality.
A lot to chew on there about suffering, healing, and where hope comes from.
Definitely is. A powerful chapter.